This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey book friends, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the one going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me through this journey. We'd like to acknowledge and thank our executive producers Brandy and Kirkwood, Andre the Man in White, Chad Welsh, Sean McGuire, and Laura and Johnny Lewis. We wanted to let everybody know that this month is donation month here at The Wheel Weaves. So at the beginning of every quarter, we donate $1 for every patron that we have, typically to the Mayo Clinic in honor of Robert Jordan. But this month, we have been informed that JordanCon needs our help. Because they weren't able to run last year because of the pandemic, and they're getting a late start on the event this year, which means they're in a little bit of financial difficulty. So it's up to us, the fans, to help them out. We, unfortunately, cannot attend this year because of the vaccination restrictions and being in a different country, which would require us to quarantine. Long story short, our donation this month is going to JordanCon. We hope to be there next year for 2022, and at the time of recording, we have 143 patrons, which means that we are donating $143, but let's round that up to a nice even $150 to JordanCon. And thank you so much to all of our patrons for making this possible. And after all of that, Brett may have just informed me that not everybody might know what JordanCon is, so just so that you're aware, it is a convention dedicated to all things Wheel of Time. Plus, they do all sorts of fantasy tracks with different authors and different artists, and it's quite amazing. I say go check it out for yourself. Help them out if you can. Attend if you can. We hope to see you all there next year. You can check out the details at jordancon.org. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 12 and 13 of The Fires of Heaven.
Yeah, so chapter 12, we have an old pipe, and chapter 13 is a small room in Sienda. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a slow burn. We're getting it. We're getting there.
I was like, what are we even going to talk about tonight? The fact that they saw a circus and then abruptly
Nothing
leave?
happened with
They see it and then leave.
It's like, oh, okay.
I thought, oh my god, this is so cool. This is going to be a huge plot point.
Nope. But hey, we found out that the elephants did destroy that inn probably, so there's that. But
and
then
where's Gareth Bryn? Oh, he's following them.
Getting close.
Okay.
But 2 new chapter symbols, so that's exciting.
That's the most exciting part.
Okay, well we got something to talk about.
There's some good stuff to talk about. There's some stuff.
Yeah, there's things.
There's something. Okay, go. Start us off.
Yeah, I got a good start for the fun fact because I had to take this opportunity because we did get introduced to quite the character in this episode, Valen Luca, the showman extraordinaire.
It's Hugh Jackman.
It is. Yeah, that's the fun fact. There you go. Yeah, so he's running the traveling menagerie, and then literally nothing happens with it. So I do have to take this opportunity and talk about a menagerie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fun reason about this fact is that we already talked about the development of entertainment in the Wheel of Time universe.
Right, we're starting to get some actors.
Yeah, we got the puppets and then the actors, and Tom is not a fan of the actors, obviously, so let's see what Tom thinks about this.
Yeah.
And then we did get a note from Valen Luca when we met him that he mentions that his traveling menagerie is something new that's never been seen before. So, the question is Valen Luca based on someone? And the answer...
Probably. Definitely.
I have no idea. That's the answer.
Oh.
But it got some stuff.
Probably the Greatest Showman.
It's not that guy, P.T. Barnum, no. If anything, it's definitely not him. So I got some information for you.
I was going to say, it's a circus.
I got a guy who it might be more related to. So
really? More than that?
Yeah, and I'm going to explain some stuff to you here, too. So traditionally, there are menageries and there are circuses. So they're different things. So a menagerie was more typically a collection of animals, usually exotic ones, and usually belonging to royalty. So Aladdin, for example, has his menagerie.
Well, Aladdin is a poor boy
but
in the streets.
After he gets his
Princess
wishes.
Jasmine... when he's Prince Ali.
Yeah, when he's Prince Ali.
Okay, because I was like, Princess Jasmine has the tiger.
Yeah, but he's got the whole parade of animals.
He definitely has a parade of animals.
That's a menagerie.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So we're on the same page. And then a circus was more typically a group of performers or an act or a show. So the circus would be a show that was going on.
Okay.
Gladiators would be a circus.
Ah, okay.
In ancient Rome. So both menageries and circuses have been around for thousands of years, but we're going to fast forward to the 1800s in the United States, because after the American Civil War, there was only one traveling menagerie that existed, and it was run by, and this is the person who might be a little bit comparable to Val and Luca, his name is Isaac A. Van Amberg. And the one unique thing about American menageries versus like European ones and the circuses, that they combined their shows so that you could buy one ticket to get access to both the circus and the menagerie. So the collections grew significantly. And the reason why this is like a little bit implied here is that this is kind of what Val and Luca is doing, is he's combining both a menagerie of the animals to show and then the performers and the circus into one spectacular.
Okay.
So there you go.
Okay, tell me, like, what about P.T. Barnum? That guy did stuff too.
Yeah, but like way later in the 1900s, and it's like...
Oh, that's fair.
Not as relevant to what I could see about this.
Okay.
So, yeah, and then just for the record, Valen means resourceful as a name, and then Luca means bringer of light.
Ah, I like the name Luca.
You know, do what you want with that. So, resourceful, bringer of light.
And fun shows.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
Animal cruelty.
Yeah, and he's gone now, so it doesn't matter.
No, but we're definitely phasing circuses out.
Yeah, like nowadays.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%.
Do it. Yeah.
Put it on the list of things.
Yeah.
Don't do circuses or animal cruelty.
Yeah, don't do it.
Don't do it. We don't like that.
Okay, so let's get into it.
Okay, because last time we were here chatting, we were talking about Nynaeve and Elaine being rescued by Tom and Julian.
Yeah, I was going to say we're talking about equally exciting things.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that was actually not bad. The rescue was exciting.
Yeah.
That was exciting. So we also got that Nynaeve and Elaine were in some village in Amadicia.
Yes.
So that's where they are.
Yeah.
Locale-wise. And then we also talked about how Swan, Min, Liana, and Logain are also doing things.
Yeah, in Lugard.
In Lugard, which I have to tell you, man, I just hate this place.
Oh, yeah.
Lugard might be the worst place we've seen.
You know what's good?
We've seen the Blight, and I think Lugard might be worse.
Really? Worse than the Blight?
Yeah.
Why?
It's
Is it the
just
inns?
so gross.
They like to have fun.
It's so smutty, and
they have fun here. It's good.
It just seems so gross.
You know what's good though? We find out the name of the inn.
I know we do.
That we speculated about last time.
And I'm gonna have a fun fact for you.
Oh, excellent. I can't wait for it.
Okay. Alright. So yeah. Also, Swan got a secret blue message to go to some Sally Dara in Altair.
Yes, and she didn't get kidnapped.
She did not get kidnapped.
Yeah, okay.
Why was she gonna get kidnapped?
No, like Nynaeve and Elaine got kidnapped when they went for their secret message.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, what? What did I miss? Was I awake? Was I sleeping? Okay, so chapter 12, an old pipe.
Yeah.
And a new chapter symbol.
New chapter symbol. It's so exciting.
It's a bull.
Yes.
With the crown of Andor roses around its neck.
Yeah, it's a wild bull with roses around its neck.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have a Gareth Bryn perspective, which is so funny because I was like, hey, where's that guy?
Yeah, and here he is.
Here he is.
Yeah, you did. You were like, oh, I thought we were going to get that last chapter.
Yeah.
But no.
We did not.
But soon, probably.
Yeah, like he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
He's
but
hot
I mean,
on their tail.
They're like 24 like vets who know how to track people.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. Shoot. Yeah. Okay. So we start out with him. He's in Lugard, and they've been on the road for a while.
Yep.
Following the crew.
And it's really hot outside.
It's hot.
I don't know if you noticed, but it's hot. So.
I know. So Bryn heads into an inn called the Wagon Seat, which is also apparently very dirty based on the sign.
Hold on a second. I just gotta point this out. Did you already skip the thing about the hat?
Oh, how he lost his hat and then it got run over by a wagon.
Yeah.
And then he just stared at it and then thinks, it was old anyway.
This is the hat that literally got mentioned at the beginning of this book that Carolyn, his like estate manager, basically gave him. And makes him wear it, and he hates it because he hates all the fancy clothes. Because it's like he wants to be wearing armor and a helmet, and then it's like this dumb velvet hat.
Yeah, okay.
It's hilarious.
And he's like, well,
Shoot.
That's ruined. Okay.
But like he wouldn't personally take it off and throw it out.
No.
It's like, oh no, look what happened.
Look what happened by accident. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, now we can keep talking about the wagon seat.
Oh, gross. See, this is where I was just like, yuck. Like, I'm not like a prude or anything.
I don't know. It sounds like you just have a dirty mind. I don't see what's wrong with the wagon seat as a name.
I don't have a dirty mind. It's like implied how dirty this is.
Yeah, only because it's like, oh, it's implied.
Yeah, it's implied. So anyway, we get a bunch of description of this common room, which is the same as any since...
It's the same.
We're in Lugard. And two of his men, Joni and Barum, are here. So he gets them and they leave.
Yes, and just to note, things are getting progressively more expensive as time goes on here.
Sure.
We've just gotten a few notes about that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So the three of them don't talk until they're out of the city. They're heading north towards the river.
Yes.
And they talk about what they've learned in Lugard.
Yeah.
So they know that the Min crew was here yesterday.
So they are hot on the trail.
Yes. And it's 3 women and a man. Probably that Dallin.
Probably. That makes sense.
And we get, quite a bit of information here about how, like, they know that Liana was swaying around and causing a fuss.
They know where they stayed, how long they were there, when they left, what bars they visited.
Yeah.
They found out everything.
They really did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, Pedro Nile is doing something?
It's the same thing. Yeah, the Nile thing is they just note the same thing we talked about last time.
He's pulling White Cloaks into Amadicia.
Yeah, and there's like the speculation about,
Why?
What's happening? Is he doing something with Altara?
Okay.
I tried to explain the politics last time, and you're like, not interested.
Yeah,
so.
well, you know who else isn't interested? Gareth Bryn.
It's not his business.
Not his business.
Not anymore.
So, Bryn wants to know where these women are headed, and Barum couldn't find that out, but Joni did, apparently, and he says that they're headed west on the Johanna Road.
Yeah, and I don't know, did you look at the map? Did you check up for the meetup? Okay.
Soon, though.
Yeah.
I just assume the Johanna Road isn't labeled.
Yeah, no, it is. Well, you could figure it out because Lugard is right in the center here, north of Ilion, and then they're heading down the Johanna Road, which is straight west, but Johanna is probably where the girls are going to have to go to, because if they're in Amadicia, they're probably going to go north to Johanna.
And we get next chapter that they're swinging around Amador.
Exactly. So they're looping around, but probably still going north to Johanna. So your whole meetup could still happen.
I'm hoping. Okay, well now we're going to get into the thing that I just can't wait to talk about.
Okay, the good part, yeah.
Okay, because they have learned that Swan dipped into an inn called...
Yeah, here it is. Drum roll. And
A Good Night's Ride.
Yeah, the Good Night's Ride.
Yeah, but listen...
Okay.
So the guy relaying all this info says he talked to some guys in a stew called the Good Night's Ride.
Yeah.
Now, what is a stew, you might be asking yourself?
I do want to know. Is this your fun fact?
Because I sure wanted to know what that was.
Okay. What is it?
Medieval brothels.
Interesting.
Were commonly known as stews or stew houses. They were once bathhouses where you could literally stew yourself in hot water.
Nice. Okay.
Merriam-Webster dictionary says a stew is a hot bath, a brothel, or a fish or meat with vegetables prepared by stewing.
Okay, those are very different things.
But brothel or hot bath.
Yeah.
So that word brothel. And then thesaurus.ca or .com or whatever said... Brothel and stew are semantically related. You can use brothel instead of the word stew.
Yeah, so that makes sense that,
It's 100% a brothel. So, the fact that RJ's there's no brothels here.
Yeah, so technically...
But he used the words.
It's just depending on the definition of how it's used, too. So, we could go into a whole thing, but it would be, close to adjacent of, but not exactly. That's how I would explain it.
I'd say it's the same thing.
I know you would, but it's not.
The word stew is literally a brothel.
Yeah, it's just the whole rules on
paying
prostitution.
For sex?
Yeah, prostitution. We know that there's things like rape happen in the Wheel of Time, bad things, sexual abuse and stuff. So that kind of thing does happen. But strictly speaking, RJ said that,
no prostitution.
No prostitution.
There might be
stuff.
ladies here who are happy to get it on.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Maybe you don't have to pay them.
Exactly. Well, or there won't be like a pimp or something like that. Like, I don't know the specifics of, we're getting deep into a world that I don't understand really, so.
Like the brothel master. I
Yeah,
don't know.
like there'd probably be more freedoms. Maybe they have healthcare. I don't really know how it works.
No Peter Baelish.
Yeah, no Peter Baelish, yeah. It's like a free run, establishment, so.
I don't know. It sounds to me like it's just a freaking brothel. So it's called a good night's ride.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to tell me what else goes down there?
Yeah, singing and merriment.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. So anyway, back to this. So they find out that Swan, and then I put in brackets Mara, because I forgot that's what she was going by. And for a while, I didn't know who they were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. Mara. It's Swan.
Yeah, that's Swan.
So she went in there asking for a singing job, but didn't get it because she wouldn't show her legs. And then they head off west.
Yes.
So, like, that's a lot of information
to
find out.
That's good.
Now, this Joni thinks that the girls are in some kind of, like, predicament and need saving.
Yeah, they're all out here for their own reasons.
Yeah. Like, oh, why would they must want to get away from that Dal, and why else would she want to sing in a place like this?
Yeah.
We must save them. Plus, we also get that Brandy is a bad place for Andermen right now.
Yeah, and I mean, that could be a couple of different things at this point. Like, we're not really sure. I mean, the whole Gabriel thing, and we get a little bit more backstory that I want to go into for that, too.
Yeah, well, we also get one of them being like, well, this whole, like, chase down the women across the world thing doesn't really seem worth the cows and the barn that they're chasing them for.
Yeah, and again, that comes back to the, like, why are they really going and what's going on here? So, and that's also why you didn't bring all their men into the town, because that, raises questions, and Brandy and Andor have had some border disputes, so it's like there's a whole bunch of stuff over the past bunch of years that we don't know.
Right, and this is where we get some information about Camelin, and how Camelin is doing with, like, the whole Morgaze and Gabriel, like, whole deal.
Yeah, so I can jump in here. So, basically what's happening is there's a lot of the old guards that are being replaced.
All of them.
The ones who served under Bryn are being, like, forced retired, and then there's a lot of newer, younger men getting put in as, like, Queen's Guards, except that for all the new guards, or some of them at least, are calling themselves White Lions, and they only answer to Gabriel. So now Gabriel's got like 10 times as many men as there are Queen's Guards, and they've all sworn to the throne of Andor, not the Queen. So this, like, just from we know that Gabriel is Ravine, so this is clearly just a plot to, put Ravine actually on the throne probably at some point.
Yeah.
When he, like, is ready for it.
Sure.
But, like, he's just replacing the guards so that there won't be, like, an upheaval. Which makes sense. Like, that's what I would do probably, too, if I was Ravine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
I would do it faster, though.
Oh, yeah, this is too slow for you?
Too slow. Let's get going. Come on.
If you do it too quickly, then it's going to raise a lot of eyebrows.
Yeah,
like
but then
that whole guy,
like
the guy in Tyr, that raised too many eyebrows. How did that guy get to be a High Lord of Tyr?
But I mean, it was still a High Lord of Tyr until, Moraine did some stuff, so.
Yeah, fair. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so now Barum has some more info about how apparently the White Cloaks were asking about Mara.
Hey, so it was a thing.
Okay, so I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to know who she is and where she went, and then Barum is worried that if the White Cloaks catch her, there's going to be trouble.
Yeah, just like straight execution, probably.
Probably not.
Probably not, but like they're White Cloaks, so it won't be good.
No, won't be good.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just have a hard time caring about that.
About like them getting caught or what?
No, about White Cloaks and what the White Cloaks are doing. They just seem so...
I know, you don't like them.
Yeah. Well, it's not that I don't like them, they just seem so incompetent.
That's true.
So, like,
I agree.
even if they're like...
they're not the most effective fighting force here.
No, they're not. Okay. But they are overzealous.
They are. They can just, they like poke you in the side.
They can be the worst.
Yeah, they can be inconvenient, so.
Definitely. So, Bryn does not want to believe that Mara is a dark friend because he likes her.
Yes, and we get that like little side story too.
Yeah.
That they had to, like, he under his guard had to execute some young guy because he was teaching children the glories of the great Lord of the Dark.
Yeah, shoot.
And then was killing the children who were going to turn him in.
Shoot.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Also, don't do that.
Okay, so the three of them make their way back to their camp where the rest of Bryn's soldiers are waiting, and Bryn looks at his band of old soldiers, and then from his thoughts we learn that they've already been gone about a month.
Yeah.
And if they keep going here, there's no telling how long they'll be gone.
But, like, what's the alternative for these old guys?
Well,
like,
yeah, that's
literally drinking away the pensions is what they all set off to get away from.
Yeah, this gives them some purpose.
Yeah, because they have nothing else to do.
Purpose.
Yeah, I get it.
And so, with that, he tells the men, okay, we're heading west. Or at least I'm heading west, and you guys can come if you want.
Yeah, and it's like everybody's like, yeah,
okay. We'll have to ride hard to catch them in Altara, and their journey might take them all the way to the coast. They might see all sorts of stuff, but these guys don't really care. They're like, yeah, cool, we're coming.
Cool, as long as we can have tea sometimes, then we're good.
Yeah,
It's all good.
Yeah. So some guy yells out about Bryn having a run-in with the Amerlin once.
Ah, yes, this is a funny one.
Yeah. And then everyone tells him to shut up about it already.
Don't talk about that.
Oh, shut up.
It's sensitive because it's like with more gays.
Yeah, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about this situation.
Okay.
About me reading. And I don't even think this is a case of me not being good at reading.
Okay.
Or it might be.
It might be, but
I'm pretty sure that this is like a regular thing I could have thought.
Okay.
So, the guy's like, didn't you meet with the Amerlin once? And then everyone's like, shut up about that. Don't talk about that. And then a second later, Bryn is thinking, well, it's time to put the past in the past. And just because I shared a bed with a woman once, something, something, something.
Yeah.
And I went, what? Oh my God. Because
oh, yeah.
Amerlin.
That's a you bet at reading thing.
No!
He's literally talking about Morgaze, how they used to share a bed.
I know.
And like, then he got exiled.
Later in that paragraph, it's like 3 seconds later, it's very obvious. But immediately my brain was like, oh my God, no wonder those eyes are so familiar to him.
No.
And that's why he's chasing her down, because they slept together. And I was like, Gareth Bryn and Swan have a history? This is crazy. I thought he was with Morgaze. So
yeah.
Okay, no,
not that.
Not
yeah.
that.
Okay.
It's not.
Not even a little bit.
It's not that.
Not even like remotely they were making eyes at each other back in the day.
Nothing.
Like nothing.
Oh no.
Yeah.
She's a very harsh woman.
Yeah, it did not go, and I love this story that we get about them, but I
just always like to point out everything that I misunderstand.
Yeah. And you're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You know, I would also love to see you read this series, but read it wrong and then just let you have at it. Yeah. It would be very different
than everyone else.
Oh Did I get an alternate ending to this book?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, so not Swan. It's Morgaze.
No. Yeah.
Makes much more sense. And so this is a touchy subject around Bryn because of the exile from Camelin.
Yeah.
And then we get some more stuff on that.
Yeah.
Because Morgaze exiled him from Camelin.
Yes. And that was on pain of death, so like super go away.
Oh.
And told him that his name would never be spoken in the palace again, and that only his long service kept her from sending him to the headsman for treason.
Ugh.
And it's like, Gareth Bryn for treason? No heckin' way.
Yeah.
Like, no way. But this is clearly like a Raven's doing, so like, that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course. And then we get to learn about the chapter symbol.
Yeah.
Because he takes out his old pipe.
That's his house symbol.
Yeah, and it's in the shape of a bull with a collar of red roses. And this is the sign of House Bryn, because House Bryn has always been in servitude to the queen.
Yeah, and we also got a little while back with Bryn that he's the last of his family line, so it ends with him.
Allegedly.
Okay.
I think we still got time.
Really?
Yeah.
With whomst is he gonna...
I don't know, Swan.
Okay, is that
maybe he will get back with Morgaze.
Possibility for either of them having... Like, you know, I'm just asking questions here.
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't even care who it is. I just feel bad for him. I want his line to carry on.
Okay.
I don't care.
Okay, with somebody. Doesn't even matter.
Could be Liana.
Again, we don't really know how old any of these people are, so...
It doesn't matter, turns out.
You know?
None of it matters.
Yeah. Mother Nature has a timeline. Sometimes it matters.
Well, okay.
I'm just saying.
Sometimes it matters.
I don't want to be that person, but I'm just saying.
Okay, but I think that, like, it doesn't matter.
Some way, somehow.
It doesn't matter to me, really, who it is. I just want him to be able to, like, find happiness.
Yeah, okay, that's nice. I like that.
Well, he's clearly in love with Morgaze, right? So it's like he should probably get back with Morgaze. But then can she even have more babies?
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't actually know how old she is.
She's probably still good.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because she also has... We don't know how...
I mean, it's not impossible.
Because, like, Galad is older.
Like, if we're asking, like, would 9 out of 10 doctors recommend that she try and have babies? I don't know if I could say yeah, but...
Okay.
So he's saying there's a chance.
All right. Oh, well. Okay, moving on. See, I would rather him get back with Morgaze and, like, be happy than have another baby.
He clearly still has feelings for Morgaze.
Yeah, that makes more sense to me than him actually going on and having more babies.
Yeah, okay.
Or any babies.
Plus, Elaine and... No, not Elaine and anybody. Elaine ships them. Like, we got that way back. Elaine was like, oh, my mother should have married Gareth Bryn when she had the chance.
Right.
Long time ago.
Right.
Yeah.
So then we get the men asking Bryn about his run-in with Swan.
Tell us the story.
Well, turns out she's a tough woman.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know. There's a big deal about the Morandi border and its Aes Sedai business, and that means it's none of his.
Yeah, so basically what happened was Swan and Elida took Morgaze into, like, the back room and then reamed her out for something or whatever about having soldiers at the border, and then Morgaze came out and told Bryn to, move all the soldiers, and then Bryn tried to be like, hey, Morgaze, can we talk about this first without these two Aes Sedai here? And then Swan was like, no, get out of here. So then he didn't like that, it's been sensitive as a topic ever since.
Yeah. All right. So he thinks that he is too old to be chasing after a set of pretty blue eyes.
Yeah.
But that's not why he's chasing after her. He just wants to know why she broke her oath.
Exactly. That's it. That's all. That's the only reason.
That's all. And so now it's time to head off after the Logain train and apparently to chase them across the world.
So, what's funny is that if your, rendezvous happens, we will have Nynaeve and Elaine.
Yeah.
And Tom and Julian.
Yeah.
Meeting up with Swan.
Yeah.
And Lyanna.
Yeah. And Min.
And Logain. But then also Gareth Bryn. And Gareth Bryn has the run-in with Swan, but he also has the run-in with Tom.
And Elaine. Yeah.
So it's like, that is going to be just a...
That better happen.
Dumpster fire of communication.
That better happen.
Oh, man.
I will be so angry if this doesn't happen.
Is Bryn still pissed off at Tom because they both share, like, a past lover kind of, sort of, and then, like, Elaine's got this weird thing going on, but then Bryn would be like, what are you doing here, Elaine? Oh, man.
But she's got black hair.
And it's like, oh, my gosh.
Pretending not to be Elaine.
Yeah.
And then she's going to be like,
yeesh.
Gareth Bryn, why aren't you with Mother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, they could all trade information, and they could all get caught up to speed on everything that's happening.
And, like, Min, what are you doing with these two young ladies?
Yeah. But, like, everybody...
and Logain.
Everyone could get filled in on the proper communications.
See, that's what I really want to happen, and that's why I feel like there's no way this is actually happening. Like, the more you talk about this, the more I'm like, okay, there's no way.
There's no way. It could happen.
Nah, it's going to be like a mischief situation, and I hate it.
Okay.
Shoot.
Yeah.
I was really hopeful.
Okay, well,
I'm still holding out.
Yeah, there's a chance.
Okay.
There's a chance.
Well, I have one last note just about how this is probably giving Bryn, like, a sense of purpose.
Oh, 100%,
right?
yeah.
We, mentioned that before, but I think it's, like, almost the same as Swan.
Yeah, I get that.
Because his only purpose in all his life was to serve Morgaze.
And it was taken away.
For, like, a reason he has no clue. He has no idea. He doesn't understand at all.
Yeah.
And so he probably wants to, like, off himself. He hates his life.
That's true.
And so now he has this sense of purpose, something to do, something to chase after. And it's exactly the same as Swan.
Yeah, so I get it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right. Chapter 13.
Let's get into it.
A small room in Sienda.
Sienda, it's fancy.
Ooh. So the chapter symbol is the elephant head.
Yeah, it's new.
For the elephant.
Yeah, it's new. It's great.
So we're going to enter in an Elaine perspective.
Yeah. Now, if we're talking about, like, everybody's going to have a fake name at some point, I mean, we get more fake names here. It's great.
We get even more fake names that I have to keep track of. So, Elaine and Nynaeve are in the coach that we saw them leaving in last chapter with them.
Yes.
And it seems that they're still in Amadicia, and it's really hot and dusty because there's no rain.
Yes, again, still.
Mm-hmm. So we get some world building about Amadicia.
Yep. So we got the big lord manor houses.
You do care about this.
Yeah, of course I care about this.
Okay.
It's important, yeah.
Okay.
Big construction with the big, like, manor houses, but it's all wood.
Yeah.
Because...
that's the rule now.
Yeah, usually it would be made out of stone, obviously, but... the king has it so everything's got to be wooden construction so that no rebels can like hold out against the king for very long. But the Children of the Light are exempt from this rule, like most rules in Amadisia.
All right.
Okay. It's important to talk about that stuff.
Yeah, sure. So then we get a lot of time.
Oh, man.
With Nynaeve just being...
the worst.
Absolutely miserable. She's terrible.
She's so bad.
It's so annoying. I can't stand her.
Yeah.
So she's calling Elaine, my lady, to all sorts of things and snapping at Tom and Julian. And apparently this has been going on for just so long.
Like way too long. Like the entire time. It's so bad.
Yeah. And we get sort of like what's been going on. And this really, you know who this reminds me of?
Who?
Matt.
Okay.
You know how Matt hated pretending to be Rand's servant?
Yeah.
At that party?
Yep.
And he's like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm not being no servant to you, stupid fake lord.
It's like literally pretend. We have a thing, we have something to accomplish here.
I know. And he like fucking hated it. Like grumble. And I mean, like, to be fair, that was Dagger Matt. But what's Nynaeve's excuse?
Yeah.
Nothing,
yeah. It also sort of reminded me of how, like, Avienda thinks about how, like, oh, I won't be, like, a pushover wetlander woman like you want, Rand al'Thor. Like, that kind of, like, mentality. It's like, what are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, Avienda has no idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so it turns out that this trouble all started back in Merdison. Is that where they were? That's where they left?
Merdison was like the OG town.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And so they came up with this story that there can only be one lady.
Yeah.
Because a lady always travels with a maid.
Yeah, and you couldn't be like two ladies and one carriage. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, because then they'd need two maids if there's two ladies.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whatever. And Elaine has the background of like knowing how to act like a lady.
Because she's a lady. She's a princess.
Does not.
She's a daughter heir. Yeah, like, come on.
Yeah. And then they also have their two manservants.
Yes, yeah.
Their coach driver and their luggage carrier.
Yeah, that's them.
Basically. And so when they left, they traveled hard, they reached some village, and they stayed the night, and they left to skirt around Amador.
Yeah, they want to stay out of the capital because that's where the Fortress of the Light is.
Right, and so that makes it sound like they are traveling north.
Yeah, they for sure are traveling north.
Because, like, why would they need to go around it? Because they were, like, clear of it if they were headed only east.
Yeah. If you look at the map, like heading east, really it's not the best option because that would take you actually south then. It would kind of do a curvy thing down south. If you travel
that road.
Yeah, down to Abu Dar. So they want to go up to Johanna.
That sounds so exotic, Abu Dar.
Very exotic. Maybe we'll get to visit there someday.
Maybe someday.
Okay. Yeah, and then from Johanna, then you go east to Lugard, and that's kind of what's happening. Like maybe there's going to be a run-in. It's possible.
I feel like because you're saying that, it's not possible. You would never tell me something's possible if it was actually going to happen.
Except when I tell you that things are possible that do happen.
Nah, I don't buy it.
Okay.
Never happens.
All right.
You never, ever tell me anything's possible. This is the opposite of... I'm trying to read you. I don't know. You
have no idea what's going on.
Okay. That's just my life. Okay, so then the real trouble started last night when they were in a village, and... the innkeeper basically made Nynaeve do all the stuff that a lady's maid would do.
Yeah,
like serving her dinner, giving her a bath, turning down her bed. Like, oh, the lady must be so particular. I have no idea how to serve her.
Get your lady's maid to do it because she'll know.
She'll know how the lady likes her bed turned down.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, Nynaeve did a fantastic job. She did a really good job on doing this stuff.
Yeah, but grumbled about it like Matt.
But not in sight of anybody.
Oh no! But then she continued to be a bitch in private.
And that's where it like all spiraled from. But like she actually played the role in front of people very well of lady's maid. So
but then even in private, Elaine says that she's acting like a lady's maid from The Blight.
Yeah.
And then I went, Elaine, was that a joke?
A little bit. She's got personality's like sparkling through. It's great.
That sounded like almost a joke.
Yeah.
You almost did it.
Just so we're like on the same page, who's the unreasonable one in this situation?
Nynaeve.
Okay, I just want to see if we're, talking,
Do we think Elaine is unreasonable?
I'm just asking, like, some people I could understand would be like, oh, Elaine should have maybe, like, volunteered to be the maid because who wants to be the maid? Right? I don't know. I'm just saying.
Doesn't make sense.
I know that it doesn't make sense. I just want to know.
And even here, she's like, we can switch. And Nynaeve's like...
She does offer that.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so Elaine tries to change the subject because she says, I've been thinking, which turns out to be a mistake because Nynaeve, with all the wit, says, "My lady must have a headache from all that effort."
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That's like, fuck you, Nynaeve.
But it's pretty funny. It's a good shot. You gotta
it's not funny if you're Elaine. Like, this is awful. This is so bad. The common denominator here in everybody getting in all these little fights when traveling is Nynaeve.
Well, it's also, it's really funny because it's little witty things like that. Even I think it was at the beginning of this chapter when Elaine was just like staring out the window of the carriage and Nynaeve's like, "Oh, are you bored?"
Yeah.
And it's like, "Yes, I'm bored in the carriage traveling for days looking at the country. Of course I'm bored. I don't have a magazine. I don't have my phone.
I don't have music. I have anything.
Nothing.
I have no podcasts.
Like, what do I do
no
in
books.
the carriage? I sit there.
Maybe if they could get some books. They have books in this world.
They do have, but then it's like, motion sickness. Ugh. Okay.
Well, especially when Nynaeve's like, "Tom, faster!" And then they get like jostled all around in the carriage.
Yeah. And a funny little callback after she's like, "Tom, slow down. Are you trying to kill us?"
Yeah. God.
Just the worst.
Okay, so Elaine's had enough of this. And so turns out Nynaeve's fake name is Nana.
Nana.
I hate that. Nana. That's the dog from Peter Pan.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Okay.
It's like...
Anyway, she's like, "Nana, be quiet," and pretty much puts Nynaeve in her place.
Yeah.
She's like, "You're acting like a child."
Yeah, so it's like, if you're going to act like a grumpy little maid, I'm going to treat you like a grumpy little maid.
Yeah, basically. And so this seems to work. Nynaeve is like, "Fine.
Yeah.
What have you been thinking?" And Elaine says that them rushing back to Tarvalin without having a clue what's going on over there is probably not a good idea. And we should probably figure out what's going on before we get there.
Yeah, and it's like, yes, that is a good idea.
Yeah, and Nynaeve's like, "Whatever, let's just go."
Assume the Black Aja's in control of the tower and let's just go there.
And it's like, no.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
If I were to assume that, I don't want to just go there. I think we should have a plan first.
Yeah, and they do guess correctly that Rhonda McGuire has sent another pigeon to update on the status of that whole package delivery.
Yeah.
So
they also talk about how maybe they can ask Egwene to ask Moraine.
Yeah.
If Moraine knows why Swan essentially put this capture notice out to Elaine. Because that's what they're thinking, right? So
I mean, good that they're even considering reaching out to Moraine. That's something.
Yeah, and then, as we're talking about this, the coach lurches to a halt. They can hear horses, screaming, and so Elaine embraces Saidar right away, and I was like, "Oh, now.
Yeah.
Now you embrace Saidar."
Yeah.
Great. Good.
Well, now that you can hear the horses screaming.
Right, and so she gets ready for whatever's happening. See, there were no horses screaming in the kitchen with the tea.
That's true.
So
even saying horses screaming is giving me all sorts of funny visuals. But anyways.
Yeah.
It's like when goats scream.
I get this funny picture every time they talk about the horse's eyes rolling.
Yeah, which is really good because that happens.
Yeah.
Because they're looking around like, "Oh my god, I'm going to get eaten by wolves or something."
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's the picture I get every time.
But saying horses screaming just makes me think of goats screaming, which is the funniest thing. Yeah. It's just it's literally screaming.
I don't want to do it. I'm going to blow the mic out.
Yeah.
Okay. So Elaine looks out the window and sees a big old traveling circus.
Yeah, menagerie. They got lions, they got bears, they got boars.
From the waist.
Yeah.
Birds. And people.
People performers. Yeah, crazy stuff. So
Crazy stuff. Acrobats, tumblers, jugglers.
They got two guys setting up tall poles.
That Elaine is like, "What could that be for?"
Yeah.
Tightrope walking.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so Elaine sees that the horses are actually freaking out about these creatures that she has seen before.
Yeah, we've seen them.
Two big old elephants.
Big old elephants and a little baby elephant.
Yeah, but we saw the Shan-Chen using the elephants as work animals.
Yes. Work animals, and I think they may have been lining up in that Battle of Falma.
Oh, and battle.
Yeah, elephants are super good to use in battle because they're gigantic.
But that's another thing, don't.
Oh yeah, I don't recommend it unless you're trying to conquer all your enemies. Then use them. Because,
who doesn't want to conquer all their enemies?
Yeah. Put a big spiky bar between the big tusks and then get them to smash their heads back and forth. See, that's funny because that's a Lord of the Ring reference, and you don't even know it yet.
I don't know that reference.
The Oliphants.
The Oliphants.
Yeah.
See, the horse bear, or what is it called?
It's a giant boar horse, I think. Yeah.
Oliphant is way better than giant boar horse. I wonder what the Shanshan call it.
Yeah, probably
they
not.
have a different name.
Yeah, probably. That would make sense.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Should we do a shot?
We should. That was technically a Lord of the Rings reference.
Oliphant. Are we going to watch Lord of the Rings soon?
We will.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. You okay? See, the problem is we have to drag the DVD player upstairs from the basement so that we can watch the extended director's cut of Lord of the Rings.
Amazon Prime wants us to pay $15
Not
per
doing
movie.
that. I have to unplug a DVD player and plug it back in.
We could just watch it downstairs.
We could. But, that's also difficult, so. Also finding 4.5 hours. That's also difficult, so.
But it'll happen.
Yeah, it will. Very soon. Very soon. Yeah.
Oliphant.
Yeah.
That's so terrible. That's so bad. Okay. All right. So are you ready to get introduced to Hugh Jackman?
Do you want it to be Hugh Jackman or Zac Efron?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
Zac
what
Efron.
I want it to be.
I know.
Except the issue is it's a tall man, and Zac Efron is not tall.
Hugh Jackman, I don't think is tall either, is he?
Really?
I don't know. I could just be making that up.
I'm totally fine with it being whoever. Whomever?
Whomever. Whom is never right.
You keep saying that. I think it's whom.
Oh shit! Hugh Jackman's 6'3".
Oh, there you go.
Okay, he could be this guy.
Oh, they must have really done some things.
Hugh Jackman's beautiful. So is Zac Efron, but this guy's tall. And
I think that, I just picture, The Greatest Showman, that isn't Zac Efron. Zac Efron helps The Greatest Showman.
Fair.
But
I get
the
that.
original circus guy
I get that.
is Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
I mean, cool. I don't mind Zac Efron, but this is Hugh Jackman.
Okay, let's get back to the
I hope
book
they
here.
cast Hugh Jackman as this guy.
That would be great.
Oh my god.
Or cameo, he can be one of the dudes in the back.
Somebody
doing some juggling or something.
Somebody get Rafe Judkins on the phone right now.
Blow the budget.
Right,
doesn't even matter.
Right the F now.
That could be season 3 budget. You'll have way bigger budgets.
Oh, by the time we get to this?
Come on.
My god. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how producing TV shows work, but I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
Elaine notes that he's very good looking and has a well-turned leg.
Yeah. And she's not the only one who notices. Nynaeve also notices.
That he's got a well-turned leg?
Yeah. And
what does that mean? That he's got a muscular leg?
He's got nice legs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Nice legs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is Val and Luca. Showman extraordinaire.
Yeah.
So here we go.
So then we get this conversation about the elephants.
Yeah, well, he's a showman, so it's all basically crap.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, okay.
And
I just want to make sure you knew that.
100%. Oh,
okay.
yeah. Well, and I thought, maybe they actually might be from Sharp, but then, the more he goes on, the more I'm okay.
Okay, this didn't happen.
Guy's, full of shit.
Even Elaine is nah.
Well, because she's nice boar horses, and he's giant boar horses.
Yeah, I'm glad you noticed that.
Yeah. And so they're from the fabled Shara, which we know is China.
Yeah, but also not true because the Shanshan have them, so it's
oh, they're definitely not.
Other side of the world, they're not swooping around to go buy some elephants.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so he's I led an expedition there into the wilderness to trap them, and I saw all sorts of crap.
Crazy things, man. Crazy
things over there. And so Nynaeve and Elaine are okay, brushing him off. Yeah.
But just so you know, Elaine and Nynaeve are sharing amused smiles. They don't not like this guy.
Oh, yeah.
So, I just I gotta throw it out there.
He, gasps at the beauty.
Be still, my heart.
Yeah.
But, loud enough, but quiet enough so that they definitely totally hear.
I love it.
It's so good. I love the showmanship. And I just want to know what Tom thinks of the showmanship because Tom's all about the flourishes, too. Come on.
Yeah, I also think that he actually legitimately thinks Elaine and Nynaeve are gorgeous.
Yeah, they're good looking women. Come on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I think he also just wants their money.
Yeah.
Flattery gets you everywhere.
It does.
If you hear anything different, it's wrong. Who doesn't like to be flattered?
That's true. I agree. So before we move into the next bit here, I just have a question. Did you read really closely what is actually in his circus? Like, what kinds of people are here?
Well, he has the strongest man in the world.
Yeah.
He has tumblers and fireworks because an illuminator is with them.
Yeah. Okay.
I wonder
Okay.
if this is Aludra.
Okay.
Because she was kind of on the run.
Okay. So, do you remember back in The Dragon Reborn when we met Aludra and all that good stuff?
Again, you
Yeah,
mean?
again. And then she was leaving?
Yeah.
Where did she say she was going?
I don't know.
Okay. Aludra said she's going to Lugard.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the last time we saw them. Because it was Matt and Tom.
It was like near Camelin. They were like on their way to Camelin when they ran into them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Matt and Tom, and she was like, I'm going to Lugard to get away because the guild hopefully won't find me there.
Ah.
Where are they now?
Kind of near Lugard.
Yeah.
Sort of, maybe.
Not real, but you know.
Not really.
You know,
it's not impossible. Like, there probably aren't a lot of just, like, random illuminators who are going to go, like, be part of circuses.
Join a circus?
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes sense.
I think it is.
Okay.
I want it to be.
You're going?
I'm going with it.
Okay. Not Tammuz?
No.
That rat Tammuz? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Well, maybe.
We could also, like, meet some new illuminators. Like, we could open up the story a little bit more.
Everyone knows each other.
Small world, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Small world.
okay.
So they are heading to Gildan tomorrow, so Mistress, Lady, you don't want to miss out.
Yeah.
You want to see this now. And so Nynaeve is like, why are you going to Gildan? There are rumors the army isn't able to suppress a man called the Prophet who is so dangerous.
Yeah, so that's good old Massima.
Yeah, that guy.
And apparently he's, like, stirred up trouble.
I like all the little tidbits. Like, every once in a while, we're just like, hey, that guy's still around doing shit.
And it's like he's getting, like, more powerful, more people joining.
The army can't suppress him.
Yeah.
That's the rumor anyway, so that's hilarious.
Yeah.
And Luke was like, exaggeration. I don't even care. And where people are riled up, they want to see a show.
Yeah.
So he's cool with it. And now there's lots of reasons why Luca's on the move, though. It's because his giant boar horses apparently caused some property damage at a village down the road.
Bit. You know what's funny is that in this one, when he's saying giant boar horses, he doesn't say giant. He just says my boar horses.
Oh, all right.
It's just like a note. He corrected
whatever.
The
okay,
ladies,
like that's how boring this chapter is.
Oh man, okay.
Like we have nothing to talk about. All right, so he's pretty much broke because his stupid elephants destroyed an inn there, and he had to pay for it.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Ooh, Elaine, you're so lovely. Would you like to pay for my show?" And I didn't get that he was asking them to pay.
Oh yeah. Like be a patroness and like literally finance my entire circus going forward.
Yeah. And so Elaine is like, I don't want to see your dumb show, but like, I'll give you some money and we'll be on our way.
Yeah.
And so...
Nana, give the man some money.
Yeah. So Nynaeve gives him some money and it's time to get going. And I went, oh, okay, that's it?
Yeah.
All right. And then we get that Nynaeve only gave him a penny.
Yeah, it's a whole circus, Nana. What could it cost? $10?
And Nynaeve is like, I didn't want to give him anything. He should get a job.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Get a job, hobo.
Yeah.
Like, what? Anyway, okay. So our crew makes it into Sienda.
Yeah, we get there.
Yeah. We actually do see some evidence of the destructions that the elephants caused.
Yeah, they busted a hole into like one of the inns, so...
Yeah, and then we get a description of the town. There are Kingsmen and White Cloaks here who don't seem to be fond of each other.
Yeah.
And they don't have time to find another inn or another village before sunset. And it also sounds like they might have a coffee date tonight in TAR.
Yeah, it does sound like that. Because that's what's happening.
Yes.
So
they roll up to an inn called The Light of Truth, which sounds like probably I said I shouldn't be going to this inn.
Yeah.
But that's fine. So everyone seems more on board with playing their roles. And when I say everyone, I mean Nynaeve.
That's the important one.
A bit more on board with the plan. And we get the arrival of this lady into this inn. Causes a bit of a stir.
Just a little bit.
The innkeeper's like, oh my god, a lady? I don't even know what to do.
But the good thing is this innkeeper is plump, so again, we can trust her.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Mistress Jaren.
Okay, so she sets them up with a room with 2 beds for Nynaeve and Elaine, but Tom and Julian are gonna have to sleep in the stables in the hayloft. And the innkeeper complains a lot about Luca's group of vagabonds and horrible animals.
Yeah, she's not a fan, but also she's a big fan of getting all of her competitors' business.
Oh, 100%.
Because broke down that guy's in.
I have one room for you, but we're busy.
Yeah.
So we get a funny little side about the innkeeper talking about news of the world.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But also that she hopes the Horn of Valir is never found because that means the last battle can't happen.
Boom. Logic. Take that, Dark One.
Love it.
Right?
Just never find it.
Go throw it in the ocean, be like, Dark One, we don't have the horn, can't fight.
Yeah. No last battle.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
And so Elaine and Nynaeve make it to their room. We get a half a page description about how small the room is.
It's very small.
It's very small.
Yeah.
And Tom and Julian lug all their chests upstairs. And
it's a lot of nothing is happening. It's like a whole lot.
Yeah, and then they announce that they're going to go learn what they can, maybe walk around the village. Nynaeve tells them they better not disturb them tonight. I don't need you seeing me in my shift.
Yeah.
It better be Trollocs if you're waking me up.
As an undernote, though, it's also like Nynaeve is preventing Elaine from doing anything or going anywhere near Tom.
Yeah, that's really
that's also happening here, too.
Yeah. And so once the women are set up, Elaine gets the Dream Ring Terangrial. We get a bunch of recap about what this is and what it does.
If you forgot.
Yeah, and so she gets it up for Nynaeve. It's her turn to head into Talaran Riyadh for their meeting with Egwene tonight.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I don't think anything else happens here.
Well, before Nynaeve goes to sleep, Elaine wants Egwene to tell Rand that she's thinking of him and that she loves him and only him. And then Nynaeve goes to sleep and Elaine settles in to wait. And she hates waiting.
And it's waiting.
And
I know how that feels because I feel like we're waiting a lot for something to happen.
Waiting for literally anything to happen. I was like, huge animals at a circus.
No, they're gone.
Moving on. Okay.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
But, it's good to know that that thing exists in this world, I guess.
Yeah. And I also wanted to know, do you think, or if you can confirm or deny.
Sure.
About timeline here.
Okay.
Is this the first time Elaine is telling Egwene that she loves Rand?
I don't think so.
Do we think we're a little bit back in time from when we saw Egwene originally tell Rand, Elaine loves you?
I would say probably not. I'd say that this is Elaine trying to be more decisive on the whole, I love him and only him.
I don't love Tom.
Yeah, it's confirmation for, Elaine even telling Nynaeve that, hey, I'm in love with Rand.
Yeah.
Tell him again.
Okay, because I was wondering if it was, not that it actually matters, but it's, a time shift
I feel like that'd be too big of a... it's possible. I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm still a little bit upset that you're telling me that the brothel's not a brothel.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah, because it is.
Okay.
The sign might as well read...
I'm just saying.
Come here for sex. That's what the inn should be called. That's the name of the inn. That's what this place is.
So who's the seat?
No, not the wagon seat. The come here for a good ride one.
Oh, yeah, that one. Okay.
If you want to sex tonight, come here. That's what the sign says.
Maybe it's okay, the women aren't in they can't get away from this situation.
What?
Some brothels, it's you're basically a slave and you have to stay working at the brothel. And they don't have that kind of they have more freedoms.
I believe that they choose in Lugard. They're choosing their fate here. It's it's almost like a culture.
Yeah.
Which is also gross.
It's kind of it's kind of okay.
Anyway, I'm just
again. I don't know enough about. I'm just telling you what I've read,
saying,
what I've seen. So.
I don't buy it. I don't buy that. There's no prostitution in this series after reading this chapter.
Okay.
I don't buy
it. Agree to disagree. That's fine.
Nah.
That's it.
All right.
Can we talk about elephants again later?
Later.
Okay.
So before you see a really exciting, fascinating circus, and then give them basically no money and leave without looking at it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
It's part of the pattern.
That's all for now, but until next time, thank you so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jamie Young, Cody Feltz, Giannis, and Megan Smiley, with music by Audionautics.com. If you're interested in supporting us and helping us to make really great content, you can head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. And you'll also get access to some really great bonus content like early access to our regular episodes, bonus episodes, unedited video episodes, access to our live recordings, monthly Q&As, and more like stickers and keychains. Don't forget to find us on social media. We're on Instagram and Twitter at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. We'd also love for you to join the conversation over at our Discord, and you can find the link to that in our bios on those social medias. We'd love for you to tell a friend about us. Referrals really are the best compliment. We'd love for you to leave a review and subscribe. That really does make a huge difference. Thanks so much again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.